Hey everybody, TCG here, and today we're going to be talking about these bosses. This is my last thing about Cuphead I'm going to do, the last thing on Cuphead I'm going to do, and I want to talk about bosses, and really I think it'd be fun to do it to grade how difficult they are to like A, B, C to D, you know, or yeah, just down to D. So the Root Peck is a very easy boss. It's a basic boss, teaches you how to play the game, and ain't too difficult. If you don't know how to jump, or if you don't know how to parry, I guess it can be sort of difficult. And when I'm saying this game can be sort of difficult, I meant this game can pretty much break your heart. It's like when your girlfriend, leaves you over another man. You know how that goes. So if I have to grade this boss, it'd be around, well, D, because it's not too hard. Like I said, it's a basic boss. You shoot, run, jump from all this. It's like beginners. It's like the tutorial, but stuff is shooting at you. So this boss will get a D. Number 2 is these two frogs. I don't know the name of these frogs, I might butcher the name, so I'm not even gonna try to say their name. These is another easy fight in my opinion. I have passed this on my first attempt actually. I mean, when I started the game, I wanted to get into the game before I started recording it, to be honest to you. But this is another easy basic boss. You jump over a lot of objects, you jump over a lot of stuff in this one. You pretty much kill stuff that pretty much, little stuff like this, and this is where a chaser could come in if you're really, really good with the chaser. And if I have to grade this boss to A, B, C, or D, this boss would be it depends how good your skills are, but it'd be around A, B, C, D. It'd be around a C. Because the only reason why this would be a C is because the very end of this fight, he turns into a wash machine, venom machine, whatever, that machine from the casino, cash machine, machine, and that's where this boss get a, C. So, yeah, so this boss ain't too difficult. Just have to learn how to jump at the right time, learn how to move at the right time, learn how to pretty much do stuff at the right time. So, next boss, I guess. Boss 3. If I'm gonna be truthful with you, I think this was supposed to be the first boss, because how easy this boss is. You can straight up kill this boss really fast, and if you have the charger, you could be able to kill him extremely fast. To be honest with you, I won't even be surprised if you kill this boss in 1 second with one move. But this boss is going to get a D because how easy and basic he is. He jumps from side to side, and you can easily dodge him by using your smoke and, ducking sometimes if you don't have smoke. But, smoke makes this look easy, and charger too, so I'm going to give this boss a D. I mean, like I said, if you're new, this boss could be really extremely hard, but it's all about your movement and, how you move and dash on this boss. So this, again, this boss gets a D, and move on to the next boss. Another boss I really love on here is this boss. Not gonna say the name because I don't feel like butchering it, but I need to tell you one thing. Airplane bosses on here are so good. What I mean, they're my favorite bosses to do. They feel different from a good run and gun. Something a little different from what you would play, if you were just shooting and running around. And this boss does it. This boss does a really well job at keeping its, movement straight. You know when she's going to attack. Some of her moves are pretty, difficult. The bull ain't really that much. You have one on here that's a Minotaur, I guess, and the Minotaur is not that difficult either. It just shoots some arrows at you. You have to dodge a star, you have to dodge the whole arrow itself, and another form on here is like, I guess 2 girls orbing a ball. I don't know, and that's pretty easy and basic to dodge too, because the little ball spins around. And pretty much, if I have to give this boss, I'm gonna give this boss a B. If you don't know very many moves that she's going to plan ahead, I guess I give this a B. It ain't too difficult. I promise you it's not too difficult. I should lower down that to a C, but the reason I picked this as a B is because it did took me an hour, not an hour, but half an hour to fight this boss. And, but that's besides the point. The reason why it's a B is because at the very end of the boss, she turns into a moon, and you have to dodge all these objects. You have to dodge UFOs and little stars, little objects that might easily hit you, and that's the reason why she's a B. So, moving on. So out of all the bosses, this is the last boss off of World 1. This boss is very good, to be honest with you. If you want something a little difficult, this boss will give you that. This boss have certain moves that you probably, might get hit by the first time you play this boss. And those moves are seeds that can grow other seeds to pretty much kill you. And if you don't parry this one seed, this seed will shoot objects at you. Well, more seeds. At this point, this boss better just be called seeds. And the reason, well, not the reason, like, I figured out how to finally kill this thing because I thought this thing was like pretty much invincible, but someone in the chat told me once its mouth open you could pretty much shoot it and it like explodes or whatever. And you have another move off of here that, she throw walnuts, or he or she, whatever this flower gender is, he throw walnuts at you and you have to try to dodge that at a good time. And boomerangs or shoes or whatever those are called, and you have to try to dodge that too. And pretty much the last thing you have to deal with is the final phase, is you have to jump on certain tiles that you won't get hit on. So this boss will get a B only because there's a certain amount of objects you have to dodge and shoot and parry to pretty much pass this boss. But this boss is a really good, last boss. A very, very good last boss for World 1. And I'm glad they put this for a boss. And I don't know how they created a boss like this, but hey, let them be creative. So this boss will get a B. So moving on. This boss right here teaches you a life lesson of mini bosses. This boss is a boss within bosses within bosses. But I mean, that's a good part of this I really like, is they was creative enough to make a mini boss out of bosses, mini bosses, more bosses. At this point, like I said about the seed bosses, boss better just be called boss, and boss. But the thing is about this boss is, I mean, I like the style of having other bosses, mini bosses like this that you can fight. You have one that's a jawbreaker that has a mini jawbreaker behind it that's really annoying, and you can just, 4 shots with the charger, get rid of that. You have another boss that goes triangle all over the map, and you have another boss, well, did I say triangle? It goes like a little box around the map, and you have another boss that's a waffle that spreads its parts around the map, but it can easily be dodged if you stay away from him. You got another boss that jumps around the map. It's pretty much a cupcake that can pretty much kills you in an instant. You have another boss, which is herself, the queen of this, map, and she can pretty much, she shoots shotgun shells at you. I even call them shotgun shells. A candy shotgun shell that, has 3 more shotgun shells. Pretty much a weak version of a Nerf gun, if I say so myself. And you can pretty much parry 1 bullet on there, but I prefer you not to if you're getting a perfect grade on here, because sometimes it's really hard to try to parry stuff on this map. I'm not gonna lie, that's my only one problem with this map, is parrying. If you want a good perfect, a very perfect score on here, it's gonna take you a bit time to try to parry a lot of stuff off the ground, because it's hard to parry stuff off the ground. So pretty much I give this boss a B because, of course, mini bosses is the reason why she gets a B. And all she does is stay in her castle and play games, I guess, whatever she's doing in there. So next boss. So a boss that I really love on here again because it's a helicopter boss is a genie boss. This boss ain't too difficult either, to be honest with you. I mean, some of his attacks are pretty difficult to dodge, like when he throw jewelry at you or gold or whatever. But the most difficult boss, the difficult thing this boss has to offer is actually, cat spamming. It's really a thing, ain't it? I mean, when you throw these things at you, you're gonna get hit a good 2 times before entering the second phase of this boss. Is either the cat phase, or is either him throwing gold at you, or is either him throwing, at this point, pocket change at you if he wants to. He could throw his whole face at you if he wants to. I mean, pretty much he can do whatever he wants. It's pretty much your dad telling you that you can't get on your PS4 today. So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, this boss, like I said, it's not too difficult of a boss. You have his second phase that he turns into bricks, and if you don't shoot the certain sides of the bricks, you pretty much, if you don't shoot those certain sides of the bricks, you get hit with the bricks, and once those bricks hit you, you take damage, and as all other games, if you take damage, you get mad over no reason. And by the way, did I forgot the part where I said that he has spikes behind those bricks? Stuff that can, sometimes, take dumb damage off of you. Oh yeah, and he can also, you know, turn himself into you, so you can also fight yourself, sort of, because he reads your mind. And did I also forget he could turn into a giant mech and pretty much destroy you with it? Oh, I almost forgot. He can also do stuff like this. He can turn into, you know, Bill. You know that Gravity Falls episode? He can pretty much do that. But no, I also forgot he can shoot more objects at you, because this is how awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you, this boss is not hard at all. I make him look hard on the video because, you know, it's my first time playing, and you know, when it's your first time playing, you're gonna have difficult. But either that, this boss gets a B because, again, little objects. At this point, everything that has little objects in this video is like a B. But I mean, it depends how you dodge objects on here. And if you're really good at dodging objects, this guy is the guy for you. So, moving on. So this is another boss I really hate. So he's gonna get an automatic B because, okay, I'm gonna talk about the very end of this stage to what he transforms into. He transforms to a ride that summons penguins to do his evil bidding, to also throw balls at you. So you have to dodge that while a train is at the bottom. So that's the only phase on here. That's the reason why he's a B. And the train is also annoying itself because at the very end of this, the train goes faster for you to barely jump on. And, you know, let's start all over. His first phase is him riding in a bumper car. That's easy to dodge if you have smoke. His second phase, he turns into a giant balloon that throws other balloons at you that somehow takes damage. You can parry some of those balloons if they're, you know, again, pink. And his third phase is he rides a donkey that can shoot, you know, objects at you. They can either shoot at you at a sideways, you know, they can shoot at you sideways. I made that sound so weird, sorry. They can shoot you sideways, or they can shoot you, you know, in a way that you have to stay still in one spot to, you know, dodge them. But this boss gets a B because the very end of this stage is really difficult to do. And we're moving on. So this boss gets an automatic C, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a very easy boss if you take your time. He has one move that throw eggs at you that they break apart and spread apart to try to kill you. He has another move that he can turn his face into fingers that he shoots you with that you can easily dodge if you take your time. If you get where I'm getting with this, all you have to do is take your time with this boss, and this would be the easiest thing in the world. He has another move that he, you know, does a, you know, feather attack move that you can easily dodge if you take your time. He also has backup plans like his little birds that you can easily dodge that if you take your time and don't go crazy with it. And he has a backup plan, and that's his bird inside that birdhouse that, you know, try to kill you with a ray gun. That is easable to parry if you take your time to parry that thing, and he has eggs surrounding him with spikes that you can easily dodge. All this boss does is teach you how to properly do time. And no, I'm not talking about the world though. This is a very good boss to start off your time training. It's just like how Neo got trapped at this train station. That is, I just want to say that, to be honest with you. But this boss gets a C. Moving on. So this boss is going to get an automatic C for one reason and one reason only. I know that some people think this is like a very difficult boss. In my opinion, this boss ain't too difficult in my opinion. The reason why I struggled so hard on it is because, you know, I was doing stupid stuff. I was distracted with the chat. Not gonna lie, there wasn't many people talking in the chat, from being real with you. But, you know, every time I looked at the chat, I got hit, so I'm gonna call that a distraction. But this boss is not difficult if you have Roundabout or maybe Charger if you're really good at dodging. So this boss is going to get a C because its last phase is not really difficult, but in a way it is. So that made no sense, but I'm going to explain why. He shoots little balls at you that if you dare shoot at one of those balls, they turn into even smaller balls and try to hit you. But I don't think that's a difficult thing if you have Charger and correctly time your shot. But it's all about the movement in this map, and I think, you know, it's really easy. I don't know how else to put it. It's really easy. He has moves that, number one, he shoots fireballs at you that are easily dodgeable. if you know how to dodge well. And he has another move that throws his tail at you. That's a really good dodging. You know, you get to, it's all time. It's all taking your time. And another move that he has, he lays down a whole track filled with fire guys or whatever that throws themselves up in the air and try to hit you. So this boss is gonna get a C because I made this boss look difficult, but in reality he is not even close by difficult. So I don't even know why I struggled so much on this boss. Moving on. Oh my god, why am I looking at this boss? This boss is extremely difficult with RNG. Some of the tiles on this boss doesn't really appear, which sucks about this boss right here. Again, don't even know why I'm looking at you. This boss has one of the most difficult RNGs. You can either have a side with no tiles on it or a side with tiles on it. This boss disgusts me. So for that, this boss is going to get a. I know. Am I too nice? No. This boss is extremely difficult for players that's not used of jumping up and up and up. Number one, what I'm going to tell you how this boss really works. You have a soldier in this boss that shoots, well, not shoots, but lay down bombs that shoot spikes that you have to try to dodge. Okay, you don't think that's hard enough? Oh wait, let's put the Queen Bee in this boss too. She goes to side shooting, how I love to call it, Mr. Triangle, that shoots more triangles that you could parry if you're skilled enough. And you have another thing on here that you could shoot. Well, did I say shoot? I meant that she could shoot bigger balls at you that you could parry again if you're more, if you're skilled enough. Let's put it like that. And her last move, she turns into an airplane that you have to shoot correctly down, locking yourself in that one area to try to, you know, to try to fully dodge. How I passed this boss is going at the very side of the corner and, you know, hoping for the best that she goes down. So I'm going to automatically move on because I don't feel like looking at this boss any longer. I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed this boss. For a boss that throws a lot of objects at you that you could be able to dodge little by little if you take your time, you're going to hear that a lot in this video. That, you know, I enjoy this boss. The theme music is really good. And this boss ain't hard, so this boss is going to get a C. Or maybe a D. No, this boss is going to get a D. Because this boss ain't too difficult, and when I mean this boss is not too difficult, he is really not too difficult. He throws down, well, not throws down, he has a little partner, which is a barrel that you could either get hit by, or you could dodge by smoking through its rope. And you have a boat that can, you know, at the middle of the stage, the boat sits there and throw cannonballs at you that you can easily dodge. But you have other stuff like an octopus that throws ink for it to blur your screen, or you have a shark that tries to attack you. So, and he picks up a octopus and shoots little marbles at you that you could parry again if you're skilled enough. And this boss is enjoyable. The theme song really makes you feel like you're, you know, feel like you're actually fighting a pirate, and I like that about this boss. But this boss is not too difficult in my opinion, and I could have really beat this boss at the first stage. I could have, but I was too busy playing around, and when my mind ain't all the way up there, my mind just ain't all the way up there. So moving on. So this boss get an automatic A, and the reason why that is because the object that she throws at you is really unfair at a point. I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely really unfair at a point. She summons little fishes that goes up in the sky, which I can't think of their name right now, that, you know, you have to move at a certain area or do a pattern to move in that area to get to pretty much dodge ghosts that she summons at you, or dodge a fish that she grabs out the ocean and make him puke out other fishes. And she summons a seahorse that makes your airplane uncontrol itself for you to just, you know, take more damage by ghosts. And her middle attack is a attack that, you know, she's like Medusa. If you stare in her eyes, she's gonna freeze you up like a rock. And not the kind of rock you think I'm thinking of. But if you, there's one way you could dodge that, which I got told in the chat, is if you keep your head in the plane, and I did not do that at all, and straight up took those like a champ, not gonna lie. But, I mean, those ain't the difficult part. It's just the start of this fight that's really difficult in my opinion. I could put it a B, but the reason I think it's an A is because I had a very hard time trying to beat this boss, and I thought this boss was almost impossible. But I just have to believe. And at the very end of the fight, she guides you in a tunnel that you can easily shoot her up, and you can easily dodge. You can easily dodge her if you take your sweet time and go slow in that tunnel. But that's pretty much it from this boss. Moving on. So this boss is going to get an automatic C for one reason. The amount of stuff that he throws at you is really dumb to get hit by. If you have smoke on here, it's really easy to dodge most of his stuff. But the most stupid attack I hate on here is his red bombs. If you get hit by those, you're not good at the game. So I guess I'm not good at the game. The certain pattern he throws these bombs in is actually like a really unfair pattern, in my opinion, because he has this pattern that if he's gonna throw it in a certain pattern that if you jump over it, you still get hit by a stupid, by the stupid firebomb or whatever you want to call it. So in the middle of the phase, he turns into a giant flamethrower and surrounds you with bottle caps that are sometimes hard to dodge, not gonna lie, and they come at a certain pattern that you could dodge at. Those bottle caps can also, all activate on one side if you get far enough in the battle. A cat eats him, and once the cat eats him, he, I guess he controls the cat or whatever, and the cat does some basic moves, more objects thrown from the sky that try to hit you. Sometimes the cat throws its hands at you, and that's easy to dodge too because it's really slow, and that's why it's a C. And the cat ain't really difficult. It's just the start of this fight is really difficult. And also the cat is keeping ghost rats prisoner to do its evil bidding, and those are really easy to kill with Charger. And that's pretty much it for this boss. So yes, this boss gets a C, and moving on. So this boss is one of the smartest bosses I ever fought, so I'm gonna straight up give him an A. I wasn't gonna give him a B, but to be honest to you, he is extremely difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So how this boss works is you have to aim at certain parts on his body to destroy that certain part, and I guess that certain part gets a lower upgrade that, So example, if you shoot his head turns into a shotgun. If you shoot his stomach turns into hands. And if you shoot at the very low part of his stomach, he has stronger missiles that shoots at you. Friendly advice, shoot at his head first. So once you get done with this, he shows his heart, because as Tin Man on that one show like to say, he wished he had a heart, you shoot that thing for a few minutes, or you can either use your ultimate, which is faster, and error, and he shoots his whole head at you, and once you shoot his head, after it spins around a circle on the map, he reveal that he's a depressed doctor that didn't succeed at getting a degree. So back to what I was saying. So once he shows himself, he reveals a diamond that pretty much shoots very, very, sometimes hard projectile stuff. He shoots stuff at you that's hard to dodge. So that's why he's getting an A, because to be honest, I can't pick this no other better way than this boss is a smart boss that nobody would have figured out if they was only aiming one part of his body. You know what? Moving on. Moving on. So I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. This boss is going to get a C. This boss is not hard at all. When I mean this boss ain't hard at all, that literally my sisters can play against this boss and whoop this boss. So the move that she does is she twirls herself around at that one area that you're at, and very easy just to walk away from. No dash, none of that. And her umbrella eats her up and make her, go up to the sky and, try to drop right down on you. So the second phase of this boss is she has babies that throw baby bottles at you. That's very extremely easy to dodge, very extremely easy to dodge. And at the third stage, she turns into a cardboard box that you can straight up shoot up, And, you know, there you go. She summons fake boulders. She summons fake thunder, fake stuff. And at the very, very end of the boss, you fight her on a rope. So, yeah, this boss is gonna get a C because this boss is really extremely easy. So moving on. So this is another boss I really enjoyed playing, and it's not really a boss, it's bosses. He's like the Candy Factory, well, Candy Factory, I'm gonna call it Candy Factory, but y'all know what boss I'm talking about. And it's a train filled with ghosts that you have to try to defeat. This one boss is a boss that throw eyeballs at you. This other boss is a boss that, you know, is the conductor that, you know, throws his hand at you that's easily dodgeable, which you can stay still in one spot and pretty much shoot him with a chaser, which that's going to lower down the difficulty to a straight up C. Because this boss is like really not that difficult in my opinion, so yeah, this boss is going to be straight up to a C. And the boss is, the final stage of this boss is the train himself. Well, not the final. You have one boss that, you know, throws up lightning at you that is really easy to dodge if you know how to move your train. Well, what is this? A cardboard box hooked up to train? I don't know. But it's like two characters that throws up at a certain area you have to move your train on. And move your cardboard box on. That's really easy, just, you know, to dodge actually. If you keep your mini train in the middle. Man, this thing is hard to. What is this? What is this thing I'm writing, actually? But either that, the boss on here, the last stage of this boss is actually the train himself. Itches, which is something really easy to fight. I'm not gonna lie. All you have to do is parry its tail, and he open up its furnace to, you know, reveal his heart, like the Tin Man himself. He wished he had a heart, and pretty much that's it. This boss is like really not that difficult, so C. Moving on. Ah yes, the king of mini bosses. This is going to be straight up AA because for one reason, if you restart and you get depressed. So this boss has mini bosses, which I'm not going to try to explain none of these. So this guy is just the king of mini bosses. It took me over hours to defeat this man. Like the amount of recording I had to do, the amount of editing, cutting I had to do because of this boss sucks. And it's all his fault. So this is going to be a short one. This is automatic at A because he has mini bosses, and if you fail, it punishes you. Yeah, you have health, you know, you can get your health back by laying down correct numbers, but you know, if you have to restart something that you did, it really sucks to do this boss all over. So this boss is going to get automatic A because of that one fact, and I'm straight up moving on. The devil himself. This is going to get an S rank. For one reason, is because I spent hours trying to fight him, and he has so many moves that I didn't understand why I started fighting him. But I mean, to be honest, I thought he was the easiest. No joke. I thought he was really the easiest, and no, he is not the easiest boss to fight on here. So it took me over half an hour. Well, not even half an hour, a straight up hour. By straight up hour, I meant 2 more hours. By straight up, you know how it goes. So his attacks are, he claps his 2 giant hands in the middle. That's easy to dodge if you jump at the right time. He turns into a dragon that goes either the one way or the other way. You can't tell what way he's going when he turns into a dragon. Sometimes when he turns into a dragon, he has his little apprentice or little devils go out the other side of that dragon and pretty much take damage if you don't shoot them fast enough. He has the firebender ability. He summons fireballs that if you suck at dodging will hit you automatically once he summons them. He can summon little balls that bounce around the map that if you don't dodge correctly, you will suffer through the whole game. Once you pass through all this, you enter his second phase, which is I should make that as a word, which is him turning himself to a giant mech, which is a bigger version of himself that has no skin, I guess. and pretty much he throw axes at you, he throw bombs at you that cover half of the map if you don't parry them in time. So, and more stuff on top of that, you have chips that can fully take over the map. No, I'm just kidding. The chips only take one tile of the map, and at the middle stage, he has more mini bosses that you have to kill before they cover up the map with their, you know, bullets or whatever you want to call them. And at the very end of this map, he cries like a little baby, and all you have to do is jump on this one tile in a reversing way. So yeah, that explains everything. I hope you liked this video. I want to tell you, I spent my time making this video. Took a lot of editing, took a lot of me going back to my old videos, finding stuff to, you know, put this into a video. So I hope y'all love this video, and if y'all, you know, I don't ask this from many people, but I really hope people would like this video and like and subscribe to this. So thank you, and I hope you have a very good day. Be cool. Just be cool. Just be cool for me. Be cool. Be cool. Be cool for me. You gonna be cool? You better be cool. Have a nice day.